First things first, just want to thank the Pirates for their continued hospitality here. Allowing guys like this guy right here to kind of grow up in a special place and get ready to and get the opportunity to fulfill their dreams, playing a big league ballpark like this. I want to give praise to Randy Mazey. His last year, his farewell, I'll say, a class act in the game of college baseball, a journeyman, a professor of the game. Really enjoyed competing against him over the years. But to me, the game, to say it was won and lost in early frames, there were some opportunities we had to put guys away on the defensive side of things. And I thought they did just a little bit more early on. I know the score seems a lot more than what it is, but that's also the game of baseball. So I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, kind of going off your experiences with Coach Mazey, I mean, he's obviously kind of took West Virginia when he first started, and he's put it to another level. Looking at it, as a competing coach,
Yeah.
What has he accomplished? I mean, what has he actually accomplished at West Virginia?
I not only at West Virginia, but I just think when you look over his career, and ironically, 2005, I sat in an office as an assistant at the University of Tennessee. He was that same assistant like two rotations before that. I was sitting in his office. It was kind of neat, reminiscent and thinking back at it. And in my days at Oklahoma, competing in the midweeks against TCU with the great teams that they had, he's always been around winning baseball. When he was a head coach at Eastern Carolina there for a while, but he's always had a brand and a knowledge of how to get the most out of his guys. He's very dynamic in the way he's coached. You got Hussey hitting home runs tonight, and you think about the long ball in college baseball, but when you think of his teams, you have to prepare for the run game. You have to prepare for every pick in the book. You have to prepare for a lot of things, but his teams are always going to come to play. And I think he does a great job of using his roster, because your roster is going to change year to year, especially nowadays with the portal and everything else, which is a whole nother thing. But the places he's been, he's done it in different ways. And I think it just shows how he's been able to adapt to the game as well.
Coach, somebody like JJ from the region, obviously having success at WU.
Yeah.
What is that maybe, even though he didn't go to Pitt, obviously, what could that maybe even do for you in terms of recruiting, or maybe telling people, hey, there are players like this in this region, we can get the next one?
You can look through Baseball America, as we have Teddy here with us, but year in and year out with the drafts, whether they're high school guys or guys that go off to college and win a national championship at Mississippi State, with like a Bednar. You have Hendricks going in the first round, I think 4 years ago. Cole Tucker, Cole Young. We know there's players in the area, and we've provided opportunities. We've provided offers. We have a great education, a great program, great league. We can do a lot of things and provide those opportunities. There's also I don't want to say the second tier or the third tier. JJ developed into a phenomenal player. JJ was not a draft pick out of high school. JJ worked his tail off, and it just shows that there are talented individuals that continue to grow within the game of baseball that come from the Whitfield.
Coach, playing in this venue for your program is obviously not new, but just over the years being able to do it here and allow more people to watch your program, what has it meant for the growth of your program and the growth of your roster?
I had a recruit text me on the way here today. A young man that's committed to us in the 25 class. Good luck tonight. Hail to Pitt. And, sent him a screenshot as I was stretching down in the bullpen of the PNC scoreboard in the backdrop. And he's like, Coach, that's so cool. I can't wait. And no doubt ESPN picking up the game and having that exposure. We get great exposure with our league, and we compete against the best in the country. But any time that you can provide experiences in this venue, not only for the local guys like Tyler, but also just our team to create those. It's their opportunity to be a big leaguer for a day, and that's a beautiful thing.
Tyler, I'll ask you, local kid, grew up not too far from here, grew up coming to games here. What Yeah, it means the world, absolutely. I just thank God for the opportunity, the blessing to, have the opportunity to come here and play today. I mean, like you said, Dom, coming out here during games as a kid, watching, the countless stars that have came through the Pirates. You always wish about playing at PNC, playing for the Pirates one day. So, today really meant a lot. I actually got to play here in high school once, but there was a little more rules. Couldn't throw on the field before, different stuff like that. But no, this time was legit. It was a great experience.
I bet 30 years from now, a 2 for 3 in an RBI game turns into 2 doubles and maybe even a triple by this guy over here when he's telling stories to his grandkids and stuff.
That's the goal.
That's what it creates memories for these guys. And the opportunity, like I said, they all want to be big leaguers, but the opportunity to say they got to do it and those memories, you never lose them. You never lose them.
Never.
Coach, from what I understand, as far as planning a game here, it's really just kind of revolving around what open dates you have and what open dates the Pirates have. It doesn't, I mean, there's some logistics involved, but it seems like this could be something that can continue.
This is year 6 for me.
Yeah.
I think outside of the COVID year when the world shut down, we've done everything we can. The Pirates are doing everything they can. Our administration works very hard in communication with them to make it happen. We've done it with West Virginia. We've done it with Penn State. Whether we continue to do 2 a year or 1 a year, a lot of it depends on their schedule as well as our team schedules and the flow of things. And there's only so many things we can do, but we will ultimately try to create these experiences for our student athletes.
Obviously, logistically, this might even be more difficult in baseball versus basketball, things like that, but would you ever be open to a regional series if you could play it here? Because you'd have at least 3 days, 4 days open with the Pirates on the road.
I don't really think that's a functional thing when you're talking about an ACC team versus a Big 12 team, but also a venue as prestigious as this. In the landscape of college baseball, you deal with your RPI, your scheduling, your strength of schedule. Those out-of-conference games, when your league is as strong as the ACC is, getting wins in those out-of-conference games are of the utmost important. Not saying you can't compete against your rival to do so, but there is a science to the building of the schedule, and you want to make sure you're putting yourself at an advantage, not a disadvantage with teams around the country.
Anything final? Coach, thank you.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate the
guys.
coverage.
Appreciate it.